Emily from E&E Special Events. You can visit us on the web at www.eespecialevents.net. What we do at E&E Special Events is we offer wedding and specialty event cakes, all different kinds of wedding special event cakes, but we also offer DJ services for your wedding or graduation parties. Today we're going to be showing you how to make a football helmet cake for a groom. They're having a groom's cake and it's going to be in the shape of a football helmet. So come with me and we're going to get started, and I'm going to show you how to make the football helmet cake. What you want to do is start off with a dummy cake on the bottom. This couple didn't need extra cake, they just wanted the top part cake. You can always do the whole thing made out of cake, but they just wanted the top part made out of cake, so the bottom half is going to be a dummy, which actually makes it a lot more stable. So the cake is going to be on top of the dummy. It's always great to have a replica to use, to look at, to see if it's, you always want to put your hands on it and to check it out to see if your size is good. Started with leveling and filling the cakes and stacking them up. Pretty easy. Cake is leveled and cut in half, so that way you can fill it and stack it. Alright, what I have here is some fillings and some buttercream icing. So the first thing you want to do is take the bottom one, get your cake board, and I'm going to take some buttercream icing and make a little barrier around the cake. Okay, and this just helps the filling from seeping out. It's raspberry. I've always loved baking. I started off really when I was a kid helping my grandma in the kitchen. She used to bake all kinds of things and I always watched her and helped her, and when I started to get older and started thinking about what I wanted to do, the first thing that came to mind was catering, really. Alright, there we go. And now we're going to get ready to start carving it to get in the shape of the football helmet. So I'm just going to start hacking away at the cake and try to make it as best as I can to look like that. Now that I have it carved, I'm going to go ahead and give the outside a coat of icing and put it in the refrigerator to chill. Now in the fridge it goes. Let it chill for about an hour, maybe 2 hours, and it will be nice and firm, so that way when you put the fondant on it, you're not going to move it around or smush it in any way. Alright, welcome back. Now your cake should be hard. You just took it out of the fridge, so it's pretty hard. And we're going to get ready to cover it with the fondant. I'm going to start with my board. What I want to do is first take some royal icing. I made up some royal icing. Royal icing is like concrete in a way. It dries hard and it helps everything stick to everything. Just a thin layer. You don't have to go too thick with it. It's really just to seal the cake board onto the dummy. Now what you want to do is you gotta put something on the dummy to help the fondant to stick to it. What I use is just some piping gel, and I just added a little bit of water, so it's a kind of a paint sort of consistency. And then I'm just gonna paint on the dummy. You wanna make sure you get a pretty good coat on it, and make sure you get it all the way down to the bottom, because you really want the fondant to stick onto it. You could cover it with buttercream, and it would do the same thing. The bottom is now covered with the piping gel, the top is on, and we're going to get ready to cover it with the fondant. Where you live really plays effect into how it rolls out. I live in Virginia Beach, so there's a lot of humidity a lot of times, and it really will affect the fondant depending on your environment and where you live. So this is what I do. I just put a little bit of Crisco on the board, and And of course you have to work your fondant. You want to knead it pretty good so it's pretty soft. Alright, so as you can see, the Buffalo Bills football helmet is white. Like the football helmet I showed you earlier was orange, but this one is white, so I'm going to keep my fondant white. If you're going to do a helmet that was a color, color the fondant first and then roll it out. Alright, I'm going to grab a cutter so I can cut around here, and also a pin, and you can, there's just one or two little tiny bubbles that if you just poke with a pin and then smooth out, you'll be able to get all the bumps out. You can get these little handy dandy smoothers and just smooth that hole right up. Alright, okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, I brought my cake back over, and now I'm going to get ready to put the fondant on the cake. How I usually do it is I just roll up the fondant inside the rolling pin. Smoothing it out, stretching and pulling it a little bit, not too bad. And get it as smooth as you possibly can. I started off catering, and right out of high school I joined the military because I thought that was a chance for me to cook for a lot of people and get started that way as a cook and a baker in the military. Alright, now you see here it's a little bumpy in the back because it's on the where the dummy was, and it wasn't necessarily as smooth as the cake. I'm not too concerned about covering that up, and nobody's ever going to see that, so don't get discouraged if there's a few bumps. And especially like right here, there's going to be another Buffalo Bills logo, and on this side too. So it will hide any imperfections that maybe you're just not happy with. So now we're going to get started with rolling out the fondant. I have some red fondant and some blue fondant for the Buffalo Bills colors. And we're going to go ahead and get ready to put the stripes on the top and also make the Buffalo Bills logo, like a pattern that I can put on my fondant and then cut it out. So that way the design will be perfectly matching the logo. While I was in the military, I met a lot of people who had a lot of experience in making cakes, and they taught me a few things, and I was able to actually make quite a few Marine Corps birthday ball cakes. And if you know anything about those, they're very large creations, and so we started off with that. And when I got out in 2001, I started the business, and from there we've just been going strong. And my blue fondant rolled out, and I'm just going to use a pretty sharp paring knife and trace around the pattern so that way I can get the Buffalo logo. That's right. Okay, so I have the first Buffalo Bills logo cut out, and I'm going to use some meringue powder with a little bit of water and a paintbrush to adhese it onto the cake. So I placed the stripes on the top. Pretty much all I did was just roll out the fondant, use a yardstick, and cut it out. I've also placed the Buffalo Bills logo on each side. Here's one, here's the other. It's just a passion I have to make cakes, and I love to do new things, different things. As you can see on the website, I do everything from a traditional 3-tier white cake on white to a very elaborate 7-tier, all kinds of crystals and things like that. So I just really enjoy doing it. Alright, so right now I'm going to go ahead and add some, I guess, the chin strap, which is just going to be a white strap that's going to go here. And I'm going to put some white fondant, cut them out of circles, and then I'm going to color them silver to match the little screws and things here. We have the cake. I have added the chin strap on. I just cut out some white fondant, kind of cut the stripes and pinned it on. The way I use to paint the screws is just actually some silver sheen airbrush. You can use that, or even some luster dust with a little bit of alcohol. Also need to spray the mask. On the picture, as you can see, the mask is blue. You can, if you don't have an airbrush, you can always just color the gum paste before you wrap it in the wire. And that way your mask will already be blue and you don't have to spray it. I just like to spray it because there's always like a little bit of imperfections when you color the gum paste first that can be changed if you use a little bit of royal icing. But if not, if you have an airbrush, great. Just get the color you need and just spray paint that. Paint the little screws and we're going to spray the mask. So go ahead and paint these real quick. You don't need a lot, you just want to dab it on just to give it the effect of the screw. Stationed here in Norfolk. This is my first duty station, and Norfolk is just a neighboring city here to Virginia Beach, and whenever I could I used to come here to the beach, and it's just such a great place to be, and I really enjoy being here. This is just a steamer. You want to make sure that it's really hot and it's steaming and not dripping water, but this is actually going to help the cake be shiny. Be careful when you're doing this. You don't want to get too close or leave it at one particular spot for too long because it could melt. But I think the best part about being a baker in Virginia Beach is I get to deliver cakes to all these hotels. Well, now we're going to let this dry for a little bit and probably do a second coat just to have it look a little bit smoother, and then we're going to put it on the front and get ready to finish. The hotels have really great things to offer. I've seen lots of ceremonies happen right here on the sand, and many of the different hotels, like the Hilton right down there has a gorgeous ballroom, and a lot of different ones have a lot of different things to offer. I just really enjoy coming here to the beach and relaxing on my time off, which I don't get too frequently, but it's a great time to come and hang out with the family. Alright, that looks pretty shiny, and I'm just going to let the mask dry, and then we'll be putting it on, and then the cake will be finished. Alright, that's about it. The mask is on, the helmet's just about done, and I might do a little bit of finishing touches on it, but overall, it looks pretty good. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video, and stick around for some more. We'll be doing some wedding cakes and some other different techniques that you can watch. Alright, thanks a lot. Visit us at the web at www.e